Welcome to CPCS Questions and Answers. The latest questions and answers for A33 Agricultural Tractor, Theory Test. Question 1. What problems and hazards can soft ground cause to an agricultural tractor? The answer is 1. Slows the speed of the tractor. 2. Difficult to drive through. 3. The tractor can sink and get stuck. 4. The tractor might tip over sideways. Question 2. When traveling on wet clay, what effect does this have on the agricultural tractor? The answer is wet clay reduces the tire grip and traction and may cause loss of control. Question 3. List 6 typical subject areas that should be covered in a site induction. The answer is 1. First aid. 2. Escape routes. 3. Lifting operations. 4. Working at heights. 5. Site layout and welfare facilities. 6. Working in confined spaces. 7. Method statements. Question 4. What is the definition of, or how can a hazard be described? The answer is a hazard is anything that can cause harm to people, property, or the environment. Question 5. Before uncoupling a trailed implement, what should be ensured? The answer is 1. Ensure that the ground is firm and clear of hazards. 2. Ensure that the trailer will be safe after uncoupling. Question 6. Where should the agricultural tractor's operator's manual be kept and why? The answer is in a place, preferably in the cabin, where the operator has easy access to it. Question 7. An operator has to travel the tractor on the public highway, for which the Road Traffic Act applies. List 6 requirements that must be followed. The answer is 1. The tractor must be taxed. 2. The tractor must be insured. 3. The tires must be free from damage and have sufficient tread. 4. The lights must work. 5. The operator must have the relevant license. 6. Do not exceed speed of 25 miles per hour, some tractors are capable of more than that. 7. At least one exterior mirror must be fitted. Question 8. Apart from the operator, who else may need to use the machine's operator's manual? The answer is maintenance staff, supervisors, and transporter drivers. Question 9. Who should determine the maximum load that should be placed into the trailer? The answer is the agricultural tractor operator. Question 10. State 2 requirements of using a stop block or earth bank, berm, at a trench discharging point. The answer is 1. To show the stopping point. 2. To prevent the machine or trailer overrunning into the trench. Question 11. If setting up to work in a pedestrianized area, state 3 factors that need to be taken into account. The answer is 1. Safe route for pedestrians with appropriate signage should be provided. 2. Make sure there is enough room for materials and machine movements. 3. Noise, dust, and fumes should be kept to a minimum. 4. Method statement and risk assessments are in place. Question 12. A. What determines the minimum distances that any part of plant and machinery has to be kept from overhead electricity lines, and B. Explain why a distance should be kept. The answer is A. The amount of voltage that runs through the electricity lines and the support used for the electricity lines, wooden poles or metal poles. B. Because the electricity can arch or jump gaps. Question 13. When working in a confined area or space, name 3 hazards that can occur. The answer is 1. Fumes. 2. Noise. 3. Limited visibility. 4. Proximity hazards. Question 14. Why should the driven speed of a PTO-driven implement be checked before attaching to the tractor? The answer is because the implement could be driven at the wrong speed. Question 15. Why should hydraulic pipe connections be cleaned before reconnecting to the machine or tractor? The answer is because it prevents the contamination of the oil and ensures a good seal between male and female parts of the connector. Question 16. What is the function of an automatic pickup hitch? The answer is it allows the trailed implement to be hitched without the operator leaving the cab. Question 17. Why should a linchpin or safety pin be fitted to the drawbar pin after connecting a trailer? The answer is without the safety pin in place, the drawbar pin could fall out. Question 18. What 3 main duties of the Health and Safety at Work Act must employees follow? The answer is 1. Protect themselves and others who may be affected by their acts or omissions. 2. Cooperate with the employer. 3. Avoid interference, intentionally or recklessly, with anything provided for safety. Question 19. On trailer operations, give 2 reasons why the tractor operator should have an understanding of the type of spoil being transported. The answer is 1. It can affect the way it is transported, i.e. fluid, semi-fluid. 2. A denser material may overload the tires before full. 3. The load may stick to the body if tipping. 4. The load may spill during transporting or turning. 5. The load may need to be tipped at a different location. Question 20. Using the operator's manual, state the cold starting procedure for the machine. Note: the operator's manual for the machine being used for the test must be available for reference by the candidate. The answer is: find the cold start procedure in the index, go to the page and read the paragraph that describes the cold start procedure. Page number must be quoted as well. Question 21. What may happen if turning too tight whilst driving a PTO trailed implement? The answer is: the PTO shaft will be at an increased angle and may be damaged or fail. Question 22. During work, the engine starts to overheat. Explain the danger if someone tries to remove the radiator or expansion tank cap. The answer is: removing the radiator tank cap will cause the hot liquid inside to be released under pressure and could cause burns to the operator. Question 23. The operator is asked to tip material from a trailer into a trench. State 5 different requirements that must be considered or implemented before tipping commences. The answer is: 1. Trench edge collapse and shoring requirements. 2. Checking for surrounding hazards. 3. Authorization to tip or permit to work, where required. 4. Ensure that the trench is clear of personnel. 5. Consider the access and egress route and the ground condition. 6. Use a physical stop to prevent reversing into the trench. Question 24. Name 3 ways in which an operator can minimize their impact upon the environment whilst using the machine. The answer is: 1. Efficient usage. 2. Lower engine speed. 3. Well-maintained machine. 4. Correct disposal of waste. 5. Prior planning of work to maximize efficiency. Question 25. How are agricultural tractors classified? The answer is by the horsepower of the engine. Question 26. When parking the machine at the end of the shift, name 3 places where the tractor should not be parked. The answer is 1. Do not park in front of entrances or exits. 2. Do not park on soft ground. 3. Do not park on pedestrian routes. 4. Do not park on slopes. 5. Do not park close to trenches or stockpiles. Question 27. What speeds may PTO shafts normally be driven at? The answer is 540 rpm and 1000 rpm. Question 28. Name 4 different types or levels of disciplinary actions or sanctions that can be applied, by employers and judicial bodies, to operators of plants who do not comply with or follow legislation and regulations. The answer is 1. Verbal warnings. 2. Written warnings. 3. Loss of the job, dismissal. 4. Prosecution. 5. Fine. 6. Prison sentence. Question 29. A. Why should the body of the trailer be raised slowly and carefully when discharging wet or sticky material, and B. What would be a consequence if this was not done? The answer is A. The material could jam. B. The trailer could tip sideways or rearwards. Question 30. A. Name 3 purposes of the raised lugs on tires, and B. What can happen to a dumper if the lugs are severely worn? The answer is A. 1. Providing help when braking. 2. Providing adherence on soft ground. 3. Assisting when steering. B. Worn or bald tires can cause skidding or sliding, making steering more difficult and the tire more vulnerable to punctures. Question 31. Larger agricultural tractors tend to have a turbocharged engine. A. What are the normal procedure before switching off the engine after working, and B. What happens if the procedure is not followed? The answer is A. Let the engine idle for a few minutes before switching off. B. The turbocharger's lifespan is shortened. Question 32. Using the operator's manual, state the figure for tires operating pressure. Note, the operator's manual for the machine being used for the test must be available for reference by the candidate. The answer is the operator's manual will be provided at the test center. You will have to find the paragraph and read it. The page number must be quoted as well. Question 33. Operators should lower the trailer fully before driving away. Give 2 possible consequences if this is not carried out. The answer is 1. The trailer could tip over sideways, especially on uneven ground. 2. The raised body could strike overhead objects. Question 34. What is the purpose of a ROPS cab? The answer is the purpose of ROPS is to provide protection in the eventuality of a rollover with the tractor. Question 35. What is the meaning of this hand signal, being demonstrated by the tester? The answer is the tester will show you a hand signal which you will have to identify. Question 36. Which parts of the shaft must PTO shaft guarding cover? The answer is the whole shaft must be covered by guarding cover. Question 37. The operator has to use a new type of implement that they are unfamiliar with. What do regulations, i.e. Pure 98, and other guidance require the operator to have? The answer is The operator is required to have the correct instruction, training, and up-to-date information on that particular implement. Question 38. The operator has been asked to drive the machine onto a transporter or trailer. A. Who is responsible for the loading operations, and B. State 4 actions to be considered by the operator before loading commences. The answer is A. The transporter driver is responsible for the loading operation. B. 1. A level area with sufficient room to maneuver should be selected. 2. Check for overhead obstructions. 3. The machine should be clean. 4. The transporter should be suitable and in good condition. 5. The ramps should be adjusted to fit the machine. 6. The operator's manual should be consulted to find the loading procedure. 7. The area should be clear of people and other plants. Question 39. If a higher operating speed, 1000 rpm, is selected for an implement designed to run at the lower speed, 540 rpm, what may occur during operation? The answer is: the implement would overspeed and may disintegrate, causing possible damage and injury. Question 40. What is the purpose of a risk assessment? The answer is: the purpose of a risk assessment is to identify and place control measures on hazards. Question 41. On tractors equipped with power shift transmissions, manufacturers state that the parking brake is to be fully applied when parking, and not just leaving the machine in gear. Explain why. The answer is: hydraulic transmissions, in most cases, do not hold the tractor, particularly on slopes. Question 42. Give 3 possible reasons why agricultural tractors should not stray off the designated travel routes. The answer is: the tractor should not stray from designated routes because it can 1. Damage underground services. 2. Ruin unspoiled ground. 3. Ruin ground prepared for works. 4. Get stuck due to soft conditions. 5. Stray onto designated routes for other plants. Question 43. What are the possible outcomes of facing prosecution for not complying with legislation and regulations? The answer is: if facing prosecution at the court hearing, there are 2 possible outcomes. 1. You can prove that you fulfilled the legal requirements and you are probably going to be found not guilty. 2. You are found guilty and you face a prison sentence or a substantial fine. Question 44. If checking the oil level using a dipstick, why must gloves be worn? The answer is: gloves must be worn to avoid oil contact with the skin, which can cause skin problems. Question 45. If applicable, whenever possible, who should decide the positioning of the tractor and trailer when being loaded? The answer is: the loader operator. Question 46. Why are plant operators generally regarded as safety-critical workers? The answer is: because the actions of the plant operators using machines can cause serious health and safety issues. Question 47. Where required, in what situation does a hard hat not need to be worn when operating an agricultural tractor? The answer is: only when sitting in an enclosed cab that meets the FOPS specifications. Question 48. Why must the seat belt be worn at all times, even with the cab door closed? The answer is: because the operator will be held stable in the eventuality of a rollover. Question 49. When tipping a load, the center of gravity of the machine changes. A. How does this affect the dump truck? And B. State 2 actions to avoid accidents. The answer is: A. Weight is transferred both further to the rear and higher. B. Tip slowly and on level ground, where possible. Question 50. If the operator has to top up the transmission oil, state 2 precautions to ensure the cleanliness of the system. The answer is 1. Clean the filler or access cap and the area surrounding it before removing the cap. 2. Transfer the oil into the tank using clean equipment. Question 51. What is a possible consequence of using a tire with a deep cut in the side wall? The answer is debris and sharp objects can enter in the cut, causing the tire to puncture. Question 52. If a load has to be tipped on a slope, what may happen if the load is tipped downhill and why? The answer is weight transfer can cause the trailer to tip rearwards. Question 53. For construction purposes, if the tractor is being traveled on the public highway, the Road Traffic Act applies. A. What type of license and which class should the operator hold, and B. What is the minimum age allowed? The answer is A. Full UK driving license category B. B. For tractors under 7.5 tons minimum 18 years of age. For tractors over 7.5 tons minimum 21 years of age. Note, if the tractor is used for agricultural purposes, then the driver must have a full UK driving license category F, and must be over 16 years old for tractors up to 2.45 meters wide and over 17 years old for wider tractors. Question 54. What does the Health and Safety at Work Act require employers to do with regards specifically to plant? The answer is the employer must ensure the plant is safe and maintained. Question 55. A. What are the purpose of a method statement, and B. What is required of the operator? The answer is A. A method statement describes how the work will be done safely and efficiently. B. The operator must be compliant with the method statement. Question 56. Describe one application when the hand throttle can safely be used. The answer is 1. When driving PTO-driven implements whilst static. 2. While driving at very low speeds for straight-line applications. Question 57. Before leaving the cab for a rest break, after parking and switching off the machine, what final action must be carried out? The answer is the machine must be isolated, windows closed, door closed, and locked to prevent unauthorized access. Question 58. A. What is the minimum distance allowed near open trenches when traveling an agricultural tractor, and B. Explain why. The answer is A. Greater than the trench depth. B. Getting too close to a trench can cause it to collapse. Question 59. Why should an agricultural tractor be refueled at the end of the day? The answer is in order to minimize condensation build-up in the fuel system as the machine cools down. Question 60. Name 3 ways that a plant operator can contribute to ensuring repeat business with the client or principal contractor. The answer is 1. Compliance with the method statements. 2. Cooperation with the workforce. 3. Safe working practices. Question 61. How can a qualification or card benefit a plant operator? The answer is the operator can prove his skills, have better prospects of employment and promotion. Question 62. A. When should 4-wheel drive not be selected, and B. Explain why. The answer is A. On hard surfaces. B. Because it causes excessive tire wear. Please don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe to support this channel. Thank you for watching and good luck for your test.